Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on No Man's Land with me, CWATTY. Before I get started with today's episode, I just want to do a quick little update on what has happened with the machines. Some of the machines you will notice having updated your game and switching. If you've updated your game recently and if you've added and bought and purchased the Alpine expansion, you might notice some of your machines will have had their fill types change. For example, if you have straw in a machine, like I had straw in this mixing wagon, in the previous video it changed to straw pellets. And the reason for that is because obviously the Alpine DLC adds some new fill types. It adds an extra fill type to the game. So because of that, it's messed up the kind of like the ordering system a bit in the game. The way obviously mods get ordered and the way the fill types get ordered and the way they get loaded, which means for mods like Straw Harvest add-on, it kind of messes them up a little bit. The way to fix it is to, if you can, empty the machine. If you can tip the stuff out, perfect, tip it out and then load it up with the material you do want, it will be fine after that. If you can't empty the machine, try resetting the machine to the store. That generally empties whatever's in the machine. In the worst case scenario, if you are on PC and you have access to the easy dev command tool like I do, you could use the command here to empty the tool, empty the equipment and refill it with whatever you want to fill it with. Failing that, it's a case of sell the machine and buy a new one. That's the only other way to deal with it, unfortunately. So yeah, it's not ideal, I'll be honest. Right, what I want to do, moving on with today's content, is I want to get that done. I want to get like we want auto width. I might actually just make that a little bit smaller. Just because of the offset business. Right, what I'm going to do today, of course, as I said in the last video, was we are going to be doing mowing. Do I have offset spinny roundy automatically enabled? Probably do. So what we're going to do, we're going to mow the grass, we're going to ted the grass, we are going to windrow the grass, we're going to bale it. And we're going to keep some of the bales obviously for feeding horses and sheep, and the rest of the bales are going to go for sale. We're going to sell them. We may as well, because we need the money. I need the money, because obviously what I need to do next is get myself a seeder that can handle offset reversal should be on. No, I can't really switch sides, can I, with this? That's the problem. So I think what I have to do I think we have to skip a row is what I have to do. I think that's how we do it. I must admit, in all the hours I've played the game, it's very rare I use a mower like this Caverland one, which is like offset to the tractor. I wouldn't normally use this type of machine. I am actually thinking possibly of changing it, and I have seen a mower that I would like that probably makes more sense for me to have. I don't think that's right, so I'm going to turn offset reversal off, because I think what I've got to do is I've more or less got to drive back down the row I've just made. Yeah, that's how this works. Some machines, obviously like ploughs, you have to, the offset has to move when you change direction because of the way the ploughs are offset. With this mower, it's a bit different. You don't need to alter the offset and rotate the offset, because you literally drive straight back down the row you've just done, which is pretty handy. It's nice to know now. But like I say, I was thinking of upgrading to a slightly better mower, or a different mower. It might not necessarily be better, but I'm going to guess for me it could be better. And I'll show you that in a minute. Let's get the old cruise control going. If we go into mowers, and this is on the mod hub, it's available on the mod hub. It's this one here, the John Deere Batwing thing, which would be kind of nice to have, I think. It would give me the option obviously, if I wanted to make some serious money, what I would need to do here is I would need to do some grass bales. And then I could wrap them and make silage bales. But alas, my baler is a round baler, which means I don't have a round bale wrapper. And also, because I'm using the straw harvest add-on baler, I don't think any of the in-game wrappers work with that. I don't think there's any wrappers that are compatible with the big bales that that machine produces. Which means for making silage, if I wanted to make silage, I don't really have a lot of options. I would need to get maybe a cheap square baler or another round baler which has the wrapper built in. Something I'm a bit reluctant to do, because obviously that involves spending money that at this point in time I just don't have. Whilst we are waiting for our trees over there to grow, and then obviously we can do some tree harvesting and get them all sorted out and taken care of. Our chickens, like I say, are nicely making some eggs. Our sheep are producing wool. Our horses are being trained up each and every day. So they'll be ready to sell in a few days' time. So there is income on my little farm, on my little setup. But it's going to be a while before I can cash in on that sort of thing. I was going to say something else, and then I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, what else was I going to do? Oh yeah, this map. This map, by the way, has had an update. There has been a new update for the map by Alien JiM. I am not, however, using it, and I have not, however, downloaded it. So I'm sticking with the old version at the minute. For no reason. There's not like there's any issues with the new update or anything like that. It's just that obviously I've made some changes to this map myself. And some of the stuff, some of the files, and as a result, I don't really want to download a new map and then have to sit down and make all those edits and changes again in the new version. So I'm going to stick with the old version. It does mean that I'm potentially not going to have support for something, some mod or something that's due to be released very soon, because I was looking at the patch notes for the map, and apparently there is, Alien JiM has added support for something that's in the pipeline, I do believe. I don't know if I'm going to need that or I'm going to use that, so I will cross the bridge should I come to it. Should I come to it and find out that, yes, I need to update the map because I need these features, then I will look into updating the map. I might be able to copy across some of the files that I've edited. You never know. It might be a simple case I can drop some of the stuff that I've edited in this map straight into the new map without any problems. Things like my animal husbandry files should be fine to just copy and paste from this map to the new one. That kind of thing. Maybe the wood cell trigger, that can copy and paste okay, the wood cell point stuff. I'm just wondering how far to go with this in terms of mowing. How much mowing do I want to do? I've done what have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the 10th row I've basically mowed at this point. We might do a couple more. Then we'll get the tedder out. Go get the tedder, get that set up. Can't remember first time round how much of this field I actually mowed. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I've now got quite a long straight bit in front of me just to get a bit more, bit more grass. I could have done that on the previous couple of rows too, but hey ho. I'm not sure I'm going to make a field or anything here. I was thinking about maybe doing it because obviously there's a lot of like these weeds and stuff growing which don't get cut down when you mow. And I was thinking if I did come and plough this area and turn it into a proper grass area, then I would get rid of all these little weeds and stuff, and we'd have basically like proper grass, and we'd probably get a better yield from a proper grass field than this wild stuff. Proper grass does tend to grow better. If you've ever done that experiment, I have painted an area on a map with the normal terrain grass, the terrain paint tool, let it grow, and I've harvested it, and then I've ploughed that same area and done it as a proper grass field and seeded it with proper grass. You get way more yield from a proper grass field than you do from mowing this wild stuff. So if you can and you're able to, I would always advise people to do proper grass fields. If you've got the space to make a proper grass field, do it. would be my hot tip. Right. I was thinking about getting the little hand mower as well, just to do some of this stuff from the Alpine DLC and let Doug have a run around with the hand mower, do some grass harvesting. That's something that's probably a consideration at some point for me to do. We'll wait and see. I think I'm going to stop mowing at the end of this row. I think I've done enough rows currently. Hold up the mower. Like I say, I may take this back to the store, trade it in, and get myself that John Deere Batwing mower, which just might be a little bit easier. It's going to be a little bit wider than this as well, which will allow me to mow an extra 2 meters in one go. And it's also going to tow directly behind the machine, so the tractor, so I'm not going to have to worry about any offset nonsense at all. Will be better. Right, next step then is obviously get the teddy out. Get the teddy, which I think is one of the I think all this stuff is from the Cavernland DLC. I think I bought all this because I think that was that might have been the DLC that released when I actually started this series. I know it's been such a long time since I did this series. I'm going to do back there because what I want is to make sure I get as much of this wind road as possible. Which is nice. We like that. Like I say, box of eggs has now been sold for $325. You just probably saw that just flash in, drop from the sky and immediately disappear. That's because my egg area on my chicken pen auto sells the eggs. So I don't have to worry about moving and transporting the pallets of eggs. Does mean that you kind of forced to take whatever the price is at that sell point for the eggs. You can't shop around and sell them wherever is offering the best price, but that doesn't tend to bother me. I think of eggs a bit similar to like wind turbines or greenhouses or any of those other things that just auto generate income per hour. That's how I look at the chicken pens now. I don't think of them as actually being like a crop type thing that I'm actually producing and selling and trying to get the best price for. It's more about just a constant generation of income every hour on the hour, and I like that. Don't tend to do the same with the wool, although I do have the option. Mainly because wool prices tend to vary much more greatly map by map. And if I use the sell point, the automatic sell point for the wool, on this particular map, I think I'm going to get absolutely shafted on the price. I can actually double check that quite quickly. I'll go into the egg sales. Actually, no. Or at this moment in time, actually, the wool is actually worth a couple of about $318 more at my sell point, rather than taking it down to the shop to get rid of the wool. So maybe I need to equip my auto loader on my tractor and go drop a few of the wool pallets into my egg spawning point and get rid of them. Bring in a couple of bucks. As you can see, I'm still playing along at 10 times speed, so I'm rapidly getting through the days, trying to get the work done that I can, whilst at the same time obviously trying to keep these videos close to the 30-minute mark as I can. I know some people prefer to watch videos of that length. Certainly from looking at the analytics, or the analytics, depending how you want to pronounce that word, of my channel, it seems like these Let's Play videos tend to get better views and better view durations, which means how long a person actually sits watching the video before they switch off, than the live stream videos. But I would expect that because, generally speaking, people prefer to watch live streams when they're live, because obviously they can interact directly with you, the creator, whilst you're actually making them, which is one of the reasons for doing the live streams, because I can have that interaction with you people whilst I'm actually playing, and I can answer your questions live, and I can, you know, give you help and advice live. It's a lot harder to do it obviously in a VOD. There we go. There's the I've got a little bit more tedding to do, and obviously I've got to come down and do this little bit. But hey, we've made a lot of hay, and that's going to be quite good. We'll get that windrowed, and then we can get that baled. Like so, we've got a couple of bales already in our little shed area. I will get some more. I'm almost tempted to place a little shed somewhere as well, because that one next to the house there is getting quite full of equipment and stuff. So I might be looking to actually place a shed somewhere on the map, so that I can store bales, store the animal food, the pallets of oats, the pallets of chicken food, kind of stuff in it, specifically for the animals, and being able to look after and feed said animals. But yeah, we're rocketing on nicely. Doug's enjoying his days. He's having fun, Doug is. Look at him, nicely chilled out and relaxed. The one good thing about selling a few hay bales is that whilst I'm down at the store, I'm going to be able to get this thing refueled, this tractor refueled, because obviously I need some fuel. We've about run out. It's done it. Don't get me wrong, it's done a fantastic job. This this machine, fantastic job. There we go. Fold her up. I did have another quick look around this field, by the way. I did have a quick check just to make sure I hadn't missed any more logs after the last video. And I definitely think I've got them all. Definitely think I've got them all. Now, any ones that I've cut down have been now been removed. Put that back. Get the windrower. This will be much quicker to use because this is obviously going to be quite a bit wider than my existing machine. .65. Let's do. We'll do 9.36. But yeah, before I actually loaded up the game today, I did check the mod hub for mod releases, and there has been a few updates to a couple of mods. For example, the lumberjack mod that I was using as well in the last video or so, that's been updated. So I've installed the new version of that because I think it's a good mod. The field info mod that I use also has had an update. So I've installed that as well. No, so I think a couple of other little mods that I've updated. We're driving along nicely, as you can see, getting the windrows done. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem to get this baled. Once the bales are done, we'll be able to, like I say, make a bit of cash. If I wanted to, I could use the paint tool to remove that like rock formation, because that is just been made with the terrain tools. So you can actually flatten that out. There's a difference between the painted rocks and the actual placed rocks. There is a difference between them on this map. The painted rocks you can flatten out and paint over, whereas obviously the placed rocks, they can only be removed if you want to remove them via the special sign down at the store that you can cut down with a chainsaw, which will remove the placed rocks. Same as if I wanted to remove the trees, there is the option there as well to cut down the signpost, which would remove all the trees, but I'm kind of not wanting to cut down the trees. I feel they add a bit of a backdrop to the map. Plus they provide me with a source of income should I need to get cash quickly. Bit concerned that that's just missed a great big chunk of my field. Let's turn that off for a second, shall we? I guess when I did the auto width, I wasn't straight. I wasn't perfectly aligned. So actually, just make that a little bit. I generally find with some of these implements, when you're doing the GPSing, it's best once you've set up your actual track to lock the GPS in, let it drive down the track and make sure everything's aligned before you start doing the width of the tools and stuff, unless you know the width. If you're just hitting the auto button and you're parked at a slight angle, you might get some weird auto whips, or you might even get some offsets being applied that you don't really want being applied. So it's a good idea to actually drive partly down to put the guidance steering into the on mode, let it drive itself several meters down one of the tracks, one of the lanes, to make sure everything's in line and lined up, and then hit the auto width if you're going to auto width. Of course, if you know the width of the tool, you can just type that in and you can just dial it into that, whatever you want. Like, for example, if I'm using a combine harvester and I'm dialing in the header, I know I'm going to set it to 13.48. Most of the headers are obviously 13.98, but I like to have that half a meter overlap kind of thing. So I always set them to 13.48. And I've done that for ages. I just know instantly when setting up a harvester that it's 13.48. And generally speaking, on most equipments and implements, I'll do a half meter. I'll reduce whatever the working width is by half a meter to make sure I've got an overlap, a bit of an overlap, and also to allow for any deviations caused by changes in the terrain or the elevation. Because again, if you're working on a slope, if this like this field, you can see it slopes from left to right. It's higher on the left than it is on the right. What you can find with some tools is when you're working on slopes, because of the height, you find you actually end up missing little bits. You end up getting little lines of unworked areas on your fields. So in a situation like that, where you're working on a slope or across a slope, again, I would make the working width smaller just to make sure we overlap for any elevation deviances. It's not too bad on this field. It's working quite nicely. So we've got the windrowing done. I can get the baler plugged in. I can go start making the bales. And then when you come back for the next episode, I'll have the bales done. And we'll be ready to offload them. And then I'll probably be thinking about maybe getting my seeder. And maybe getting seed planted and put down. Over on that field over there that I've made. So that bit's done. Now for the baler. So I have got 4 bales left to provide food, and I don't have enough sheep and that at the minute that they're going to eat me out of house and home, and even I think the horses are a little bit less likely to eat me out of house and home. It's just my personal feeling. I don't think they're going to eat me. Oh, press the wrong button. That's going to spit the bales out the back. Of course, this is slightly awkward because I have to keep remembering to stop. I can't just go continuously. Get that out the back. The good thing is, at least now, I do have the mods installed that do the automatic bale dropping, the automatic unloading of bales. I haven't got to press any buttons to manually unload the bales once they are full. The machine will kick them out, spit them out the back themselves. Just obviously need to make sure I stop in enough time I can then back up. And it looks like I've actually eaten that bale. It looks like it stayed in the machine to me. Oh, it's not liking that. The baler is not fully ejecting the bales. There we go, that one's out this time. So the problem is I changed my auto width, didn't I? So I need to manually do these couple of rows because obviously I was using the wrong width on the windrower. I wonder if the Bailey jet mod's just maybe having a little bit of an issue with the straw harvest baler. Maybe the we'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. The good thing is we will be getting it done today. All the bales will be done. That one out the back. Oh, missed a bit low. Hoover that up. And I've got the last 2 rows to do. I should have reset my bale counter, and then I would have known how many I've made today. How many we've pressed today. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 at the minute. At the minute. 9, I suppose. We'll probably have 10 by the end of this row. We'll probably have about 12 bales, close to 12 bales, I think. Maybe 13. Of course, a lot of the bales we used first time round were the ones that we kind of already had on the land when we started. Ones that Alien JiM gave us in our startup sort of setup. So I've used all of those, so I haven't actually made that many bales myself. You know, basically counting how many bales we've actually currently got. Oh, done it again, reversed too far back, and we've kept the straw harvest bale inside the machine. Oh dear. To pick that up, make sure we've got that grass done. There we go. Turn off the GPS, turn off the baler, pick it up, fold it up. Not that I think this one folds, but there we go, made a few bales. So I will be able to get those loaded up on the trailer, because they're all going to sell. I think I'm going to sell all of them. I'm not going to retain any of the bales. I think there's a trailer load there. And then I can get my truck refueled as well. Now, window on, make sure I have got this set to auto select. I want round bales. I think it's those bales, and I can't remember if I've got the short or the long trailer. We'll find out in a minute. I think I probably bought the wait a minute, why was that not loading? Because they are 1.3 meters. .3 meters, and they are 1.3 meters short trailer bales then. There we go. Must remember that for next time. And hey, look, the grass has already started to regrow. It's that quick. You can tell I haven't played on this map for a while because I forgot what size bales. So I'm not actually making 1.8 meter bales. I'm making 1.3. I don't know if they're compatible with a wrapper or not then. So I've actually made 14 bales. Right-o. Strap them on. Oh. Strap them on. And we'll take them down to the supermarket shop and get them sold. $14 bales should be good money. At the start of the next video, we'll be able to look and see what equipment I want to bring back with me in regards to seeding then. So yeah, I apologise this video is a little bit longer than the previous ones. I know I said I wanted to keep them about 30 minutes, but obviously it takes a little bit longer to mow, ted, windrow and bale. And I wanted to get all that done in one video. Yes. I wanted to get all that done in one video for the sole purpose that we can then move on to something fresh in the new one. So probably I'll end up bringing back equipment with me in the start of the next video, and then we'll be moving on. I'll sleep through the night, get a fresh day in front of us, and then we'll set about probably seeding that field. Like I say, I'm not sure yet what I want to put on it. I was thinking maybe oats, for the simple reason it would enable me to get some straw. I could do some straw bales, which would be great for then doing the horses. And also oats are actually something that we can actually use with the horses, or we can actually sell and make some good money from oats. Oats tends to be pretty profitable. Now, as we arrive at the sell point, hopefully these will all sell quite happily. Why have they not sold? Because the trailers, the sell point is too low. Or for getting rid of the bales. Unfortunately for me, I'm having to jiggle about with them. I don't really have the room to perform any fancy like U-turns or anything. This is annoying. May have to think of another option for doing bales. I might have to throw. I might have to put in another sell point because this one isn't going to work too well for me for selling bales. It's a little bit low, Alien JiM. I haven't got my loader, have I? I'm gonna have to just cheat temporarily. I didn't bring me front loader on, so I'm just gonna have to bales up. Why has that not worked? Super strength should be on. Can I not pick these up with my super strength, strong arms? Oh boy, oh boy. I can get them off the trailer. That would be the first battle won. Can probably then round them up using the actual tractor at that point. We'll leave that there for a second. This hasn't quite worked as easily as I wanted it to. So, bearing in mind, not even going to roll properly, are they? Note to self in future: bring your front loader with you to the store for selling pallets, bales and stuff, because the sell point trigger is far too low. Far too low. Uh-oh. That's not going to work, is it? Push it. Push it. That's it. Once I'm side onto it, it tends to roll better. It's going to reverse up. I wonder if I'd be better off backing into it, using the flat back of the tractor and the big space between the tyres. Whether that would give it a bit more, or am I just going to drive over it? I'm just driving over it at this point. What a faff, eh? What a faff to sell a couple of bales. There we go. Happy days. We made some money. Not a lot. 15 grand. Was it worth the effort? And all that faffing? Probably not. What I will do now, obviously, while I'm here, is get some fuel. Which I think is from around here. And then when we come back in the next video, folks, we'll give a seeder and some seed. So thank you for watching today's episode, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it. Leave your likes down below, leave your comments, and I'll see you all again very soon. From Doug here on No Man's Land, it's goodbye for now.